when you're in a meeting, look around and ask yourself, did I really need to be here for this?
Right.
Okay. And even as a boss, I think that's good. I've learned over 22 years. I made a million mistakes to get to where I am now. Now I'm in this meeting. And if there's like if I have like people in a meeting arguing amongst themselves and they haven't made a decision, I'm like, why the fuck am I in here?
Right.
You guys don't even know what the hell's going on. And you want me to listen to your argument? Like, get your shit together. Call me back when you're ready to make a decision here. And then I'll come in and say, yeah, I agree with you, you know? But like as kids going door to door, I mean, you don't know whose door you're knocking on. It could have been a pervert that wanted to take advantage of you.
I wouldn't have my kids knocking on the door today. It's just
but you could
so
do
different.
Our relief was down there, and we're up there in the North Sea. You know, we want to go home. It's cold, and we've been up there for a couple months. And then our relief like grounds itself into a coral reef down in Key West.
You have enough food for that?
That's
like,
the interesting part. We started running out of food.
Like, who do you start eating first at that point?
Thankfully, we didn't get to that point. Thankfully, we had lots of peanut butter and jelly.
Wow.
Lots of peanut butter and jelly.
I love peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, but if you eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it starts changing. I'm a skier, and that's my thing. Before I go out,
recently?
Yeah, but I make 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I throw it in my bag and throw it in my jacket, and I smash it to hell when I'm skiing. And I'll sit there on the slope.
It's the best, though. Why does it hit different when it's smashed?
Yeah.
Like, why is it best?
I'd be on a ski lift just eating this smashed peanut butter and jelly.
That sandwich
tastes so good.
You get a good smashed sandwich. It's
It's
like
where have you guys been all my life? We got kindred spirits here. I could say it. You guys are the best.
Thank
you.
I
could say it. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Oh, hey, oh. You are now tuned in to the best roofing podcast in the world. The Roof Trollz.
We already told God, Jeff, you're so annoying. We already told you look nice in the suit.
You said I had a huge package.
You
when
do.
I came
You got
in
a
here.
fucking hog in those pants. It's not my fault. Don't be upset
I
about
love
it.
this. I love this podcast already.
It's like literally where it's at.
It's also like a 20-year-old suit. So like he's gotten a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So the pants.
I came in as soon as I saw him. I'm like, I'm totally underdressed for this podcast. Like,
do you see us?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I feel a lot better
I threw
after
a hoodie
seeing
on
you
out
guys.
of respect. I'm like, I didn't want to be all tatted up next to the mayor, you know?
Oh, get out of here.
He's got full sleeves.
He's a Mayor Hammond.
Yeah.
He's a man of the people.
That's
All
right.
right. Hey, we're rolling right into this. Roof Trollz, we're back. Normally I would be the host, but apparently the best dressed here, Jeffy.
Oh, that's me. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
he's
you were
going to.
talking
Well,
about
you
Angelo.
said you want to introduce everybody.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
I want to say, what's it take to lead a city for over 20 years?
Holy shit, Jeff. Hang on. We got to start this over with Jeff. All right. So again, hey, everybody. Angelo, Elijah, Roof Trollz. We got our boy Jeff. He's one of our partners. But we need to actually introduce our guest.
Yeah, I was going to introduce him. Today, we have the privilege of speaking with a man who knows the answer firsthand to leading a city for over 20 years, Mayor Tom McDermott of Hammond, Indiana. Since taking office in 2004, he's transformed Hammond's economy, improved public safety, championed major development projects that have shaped the city's future. As the longest-serving mayor of Hammond in Hammond's history, he's also made waves in politics and state and at the national level. Hands-on public servants who understand the pulse of the community. I'm honored to have him on the show today to talk about leadership, challenges as being a public servant, and the future of Hammond. Mayor Tom McDermott, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure and an honor. It's great to see you. I love podcasts. As you know, I host a podcast myself, and I'm a big fan of podcasts, and you guys have a very cool studio, so
Thank
congrats.
you. So you've been leading Hammond for over 2 decades, longer than any other mayor.
22 years. I'm actually in Indiana. I'm the longest serving mayor currently, so I'm the senior mayor in Indiana.
What's the most rewarding part of the job?
When you I remember, that's a good question. I remember early on in my administration, I bought an old school on the south side of the city, and it was a school that was just falling apart. There was no plan for it. And we bought it, and over the next 2 years, I demolished that school, and I built what comes to be a really nice baseball complex there. And I remember about 3 or 4 years after I did the project, I pulled in one day, and my kid was playing there. And I pulled in, it was a summer night, and there was literally like 400 people in the park. It was jam-packed. Kids were playing, people were eating ice cream, flying kites, the whole thing. And I just sat there for a second going, wow, like, good job, Tom. This is cool, because it was an abandoned school when I took over as mayor. So, like, the job satisfaction is real high sometimes, like in situations like that.
Where are you from?
I actually grew up in California. So I'm not even from the region originally.
Your mom's from California, right?
Yeah,
And then your
yeah.
dad's from Indiana?
My dad's
what
actually
part of Cali? I lived in Cali, too.
What part? Northern. I grew up in Napa.
Napa, okay.
Napa High School.
I grew up in, I didn't grow up, but I spent 5 years of my life in San Fernando Valley.
My man. I could see it. I could feel the Cali vibes. Yeah. But yeah, my parents got divorced when I was a baby. I don't even remember my parents ever being together. But my whole life, I would go to school in California, and I had to fly across the country as a little kid, fly out to Chicago, land, and go to this place called Hammond.
Unaccompanied.
Yeah, back in those days, you could. Yeah, you just get on the plane, fly across, and then somebody picks you up. You know?
Did your mom stay with your dad at all in California? Or did
Yeah,
he
they were
move out
together
to
when I
Indiana?
was born. And then my dad got a job at a place called the Hammond Times. And then that was my connection to the region. That was my connection to Hammond.
Did you ever deliver the Hammond Times?
I did deliver the Hammond Times. I delivered the bundles to the carriers my whole childhood.
My first door-to-door gig was signing people up for the Hammond Times.
Yeah, no way. Back in the day, huh?
I delivered for 8 years,
Yeah, man.
and I got a scholarship for it.
I think that shows a lot of character in a young person is being able to go out and knock on doors. Because back in those days, you had to collect for the newspaper. You're like, hey, you owe me $5. You
It
know,
was
remember those
$4.20.
days?
I remember it was
Yeah.
$4.20.
Yeah, and then people would be running from you.
It was insane. Like he remembers. I went to it. So we
Yeah,
sold it
hung
all
out.
the way over the border. So I grew up in Stager. He grew up in Sauk Village, and I was selling it even over the border. And then I just remember being like, I'm going door to door as like a 14, 15-year-old kid.
I was
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
And sometimes not the greatest areas either.
Yeah.
And people were, again, it's crazy how different. Again, so we're 36. You're 38, right? But like how times have changed from then till now.
Yeah.
But like they were so hospitable. Like I had people come, dude, like literally like, young man, just come in my house. Like you need
Yeah.
to call someone. You should not be out here right now. Like it was just. It
Well,
was
people
so,
weren't ripping people off back then. I mean, they were ripping them off, but not like they are now. Like, unfortunately,
everything's-
door-to-door sales, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's just fucking comment out there that
Well,
just,
that's
like,
what we
shitting
do,
on,
Tom.
on what we do. Yeah.
We go door to door.
It's-
Well, I
sucks.
agree.
That's
But
what we
you
get
guys
our.
provide a service that's reputable, which is nice.
Yeah.
But like as kids going door to door, I mean, you don't know whose door you're knocking on. It could have been a pervert that
Yeah.
wanted
No,
to
yeah,
take
you
advantage
don't
of you.
know.
You had
I
no-
wouldn't have my kids knocking on the
Heck
door today.
no.
It's just
But you could do
so
that.
different. Yeah,
Like,
I
yeah,
know.
you remember that. Like,
Yeah.
so again, growing up in Stager, and then I moved to Hammond. That's why I was like, I know you because you were the mayor of the city I lived in.
I was
for-
your mayor.
You were my mayor. But I think
Thank
about
you.
those times, and it's like I could leave my bike. Like I distinctly remember leaving my bike in my front yard, and my front door would be open, and just the screen door being locked.
Oh yeah,
And my mom never thought twice.
you lived in Robertsdale, right? Right by Clark.
No, so I lived in North Hammond. So I lived on
Yeah.
Calumet and Goslin.
Oh yeah, man.
Super small. We
Yeah.
talked briefly before this. I lived in like
Right
a
over there
one,
by the cab.
one some real small 1-bedroom apartment
Okay.
with a brother, sister, my mom. Like
No
I said,
way.
we were talking.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we grew up right there in Hammond. But when I get to that point, like you couldn't leave your doors unlocked, and
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
No,
what?
yeah.
This is crazy. Like
You know what's crazy?
What's happened?
When I first took over in Hammond, I'd like to. It seemed like, and statistically, if you look at the stats, our violent crime numbers were high, and I'm not blaming. That was part of the reason I probably became mayor is because when I took over, it was a lot more violent than it is now, and it's statistically proven. So I'm not just trying to toot my own whistle here. It's we back it up with stats, but Hammond was a place and is a place where the police department's vital, and I'm a
You have a
100%.
great police department. I
We
know
do.
several officers
Oh yeah,
there.
they're the best.
Yeah.
I'm super proud to be the mayor of that police department. I have a great relationship with them, and I support them.
How many officers do you have?
We have 190 right now.
So there's no way you would know every one of them, though.
I know most of them.
Yeah.
I've been mayor for a long time. It's not very often I see an employee I don't know. Like, and if I don't know their name, I know them, and I know enough to stop them and thank them and say thank you. And by the way, with cops, I have a standard rule, and if I see them in public, I buy them lunch all the time.
That's
I love
And
that.
over the years, it's worked out well.
Well, you know
cops
how to
are-
treat your employees in a sense, right? If
I love my employees.
if you're at the top, you got to treat the guys at the bottom just as well as you would anybody else, and
You guys are bosses. That's the
a
way
big,
to do it.
That's literally our pillars here are again it's a little different, but I mean actually it's not. You serve the people, so like we base ours on 2 pillars for the most part: are our employees happy and our customers happy, right? I think if
Yeah.
you have both of those foundations built really well, the rest will come.
There's
And
a
so
reason it says best of the region out in front of your business.
we're
right now.
trying, man.
No, they haven't voted yet.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that-
voting just
Hey,
happened.
you know
Voting
what?
ended,
It's all right. We're campaigning.
We're manifesting it. But
That's right.
The actual winner won't be out until May
It's all right.
something. So
It's all right. I can
Yeah.
say it. You guys are the best.
Thank
I
you.
can say
Hey,
it. That's my
you heard
opinion.
that.
That's my
You heard
opinion.
that.
You know.
So your dad
I called 15, 20 times for you guys. So
Right.
you.
you
Thank
can do it.
you.
It's like county, dude. You can do that stuff here.
Yeah.
Right. You can vote multiple times.
It's at times. It's not a federal crime in this case. We can actually do it.
So your dad moves to Indiana to work at the Hammond Times.
Yeah.
As what?
Yeah. He was a circulation manager. Had to do with the carriers.
And then he.
So
that's how you got your
guys
job.
indirectly worked for my dad back in the day. He
Yeah.
was the circulation manager, so he would be in charge of the people that, not directly with the reporters, but there was the reporters' direct contact, and then they reported to my dad. So I grew up around newspaper carriers, and we would go to back in the day when we'd go to Six Flags and stuff like that. I was always on those trips, but I had a different job. I was on the trucks throwing the bundles out to those guys.
Right. So you
as a
were
little
driving
kid.
the trucks, or you
No, I was like a little
on the
helper
back or something?
I was
Okay.
like a little helper in the truck,
And you
I'd
had to
work
get
all
up
night.
early to do that. 'Cause
Dude,
those
back
bundles
in
had to
those
be
days,
out.
we'd
They
Sunday
print,
morning.
what, like at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
or 1 a.m.?
Well, overnight, yeah. So I would work overnight as a little kid. Every Saturday night, I'd work. So
I worked every day for 8 years. Christmas, Easter.
that's awesome.
And my sister would deliver with me, but she had her own route. But my mom would get up every morning and help me. So shout out to my mom.
Yeah, that's
And,
awesome.
You know, I had money in my pocket at 10 years old until I left for college.
I think that's important. Like, and my kids are workers, and you know, going back to what we were talking about employees and about my philosophy, and it sounds like your philosophy as well. Is I was a Navy guy, and I was on a submarine, and I had bad bosses in the Navy, and I hated it.
Wasn't Gene
miserable.
Hackman?
It was not Gene Hackman. No, but like in a lot of people in the Navy, there's amazing bosses in the Navy, but there's also really bad bosses. And I had some bad bosses, and I swore to myself, I'm never going to be that guy. I'm never going to be that boss.
Too, you ain't going anywhere.
That's
No.
Someone
a
picks you
nuclear
off,
sub.
you're like stuck.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
And it's pure rank. It's like, oh, he's E7 and he's a dick to you, but you're an E5. And suck it up, E5. You know, he's an E7. I mean, it's like, yeah, he's a dick, but he's higher ranked than you. Just shut the hell up.
What's it like? How long were you in there?
I was on a submarine for 4 years, but I was in the Navy for 6 years.
What's the longest stretch before you can get like fresh air? Or something?
I know specifically, I'm asked this question a lot. It was 78 days. We were on a northern run, and we weren't supposed to be gone that long underwater. One
Is this part
stretch.
of the Gulf War? Or?
It was right around that time. I don't remember exactly, but it was around that time. And then our relief at that time, and you could look this stuff up. I remember it was a submarine that was training down by Key West. That was our relief. And you have to, before you go on location, like on deployment, and it's a submarine, you have to go through like a sound trial. They call it ATEC, okay? And basically you have to go down, and it's down by the Keys. You go down and you do a bunch of runs in your submarine, and they're tape recording you.
This isn't classified, right? We can talk
I don't
about
think
this.
so. Yeah, I'll just send it by signal, and
Right,
you know,
yeah.
we could just text it to each other.
I was going to say, you text it to somebody.
Yeah, right. But like, what they're doing is they're trying to listen and see if you have like a rattle or
Right.
if you're
If
loud.
there's some sort of
Well,
malfunction or something.
Our
that could-
relief was down there, and we're up there in the North Sea. You know, we want to go home. It's cold, and we've been up there for a couple months. And then our relief like grounds itself into a coral reef down in Key West,
I'm
which is
sorry,
not good.
It's cold because it's ocean.
Yeah,
right?
we
You're,
were
like,
up in the
deep.
North Sea. We were up by Russia.
And they got stuck
Okay.
in Florida.
In
and they
Florida,
couldn't get
and
out.
they needed to do that before they can go and relieve us.
I
so
see.
they ram into the coral down there, and they have to go to dry dock.
Mm.
So our relief is going the wrong way,
So-
and we're up there spinning circles, and you can't just leave.
You have enough food for that?
That's
like,
the
how's that
interesting
work?
part. We started running out of food because you're not going to run out of water. You're surrounded by. You're not going to run out of air. You're surrounded by.
Like,
it.
who do you start eating first at that point?
Thankfully,
E7s,
we didn't get to that point. Thankfully,
Okay.
we had lots of peanut butter and jelly.
Wow.
Lots of peanut butter and jelly.
You
I
guys-
love peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, but if
But
you're
yeah,
eating it
every
for
day
breakfast,
for-
lunch, and dinner, it starts
Yeah.
changing. Yeah, and the
So
bread.
I would speaking of peanut butter and jelly, I would eat peanut butter and jelly. Say I worked at the railroad.
I love
before
peanut
got
butter
into
and
this.
jelly.
And I would literally
Still,
just bring.
Oh, yeah.
after all that.
I would bring a tub to work and bread, and they would just like everyone would just look at me. What is wrong with you? I'm like, this is just a lot easier.
I'm a skier, and that's my thing.
You
Before
went
I go
skiing
out,
recently.
yeah. But I make 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I throw it in my bag and throw it in my jacket, and I smash it to hell when I'm skiing. And I sit there on the
it's
slope
the best,
and just.
though. But
It's
why
the
why
best.
does it hit different when it's smashed?
Yeah.
Like, why is it
I'd
best?
be on a
every
ski lift
sandwich.
just eating this smashed peanut butter and jelly.
But that sandwich
tastes so good.
You get a good smashed sandwich. It's different.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
like
I'm
any
glad-
sandwich?
Where
with,
where
like,
have you
white-
guys been all my
yeah,
life,
white
man? Like,
He
we
goes-
got kindred
he looked-
spirits here.
Yeah, Jeff, who are you? You're not. He ain't from Hammond.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well, Tom, you
Jeff
walked
likes
in,
a good smash sandwich, I think.
yeah.
he goes, what? Every sandwich?
Tom, you walked in. You're like, how do I know you? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
as soon as I saw you, I
fellow
knew you.
attorneys.
But we figured it out. But as soon as I saw you, I'm like,
I
know.
supported you for your political runs.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate you.
I mean, you've been Mayor Hammond for 22 years.
Yeah.
What challenges have you had during that time?
I'm dealing with one. It's in my opinion, it's irrational, and it's irrationality coming from the public, and I don't want to be a jerk about it because the cause that they believe in this case, and I don't want to rehash it in detail, but it's an environmental issue, and I acknowledge that this plan I'm doing is going to have an impact on about 300 trees, and that sucks. Okay, but what I'm doing, the benefits of what I'm doing outweigh those 300 trees, and I could replant those trees.
I was going to say, why don't we just go out and replant them
We've
this
already
weekend?
agreed to that. Okay, but it's,
Let's plant 5 times as much or 10 times
I would
as
do
much.
that just to shut them up,
Yeah.
but they won't. they want me to kill this deal, and it's 100% fully funded bridge. It's being paid for by the feds and the state to fix a problem in Hammond. Stop trains.
If you don't mind me
Stop
asking,
trains.
Stop trains.
Beautiful.
It's like a big deal.
Or what's the?
It's in Hessville, so I don't know how familiar you are with Hessville. It's a new bridge right by Morton High School that'll get
Okay.
us over the stop trains that are every single day stopped in Hessville,
Yeah.
which impacts police response,
So
impacts
they're
fire
stopping
response. And they
Well-
want me to turn it down. They don't like it because it goes through this forested part, and they want me to go a different direction, and we can't.
Right.
It's a urban
And now
area.
you're going to miss out on,
No, we're not.
building
See,
up
that's what they
Hammond.
want.
Yeah.
They want me to say no. Sorry, there's trees here, but I'm like, sorry guys, I can't do that.
Just
I'm
do
building.
it.
I'm building this
You have
bridge.
to make those hard decisions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But
How
like,
is,
it's gotten really bad though. They're
With something like that, how is it going? Because again, I know it directly influences Hammond, but
Right.
how is that the double track project that Nickty was doing?
It's great.
How's that been for you guys?
For Hammond, not so much. I'm just proud as a Regionite to see us correct something that was so silly. Like anybody who builds a train line to and from Michigan City from Chicago is going to put 2 lines there. And they didn't back in the day. And what happens is, of course, trains have to stop and wait for the other to pass, which is ridiculous. It impacts your times.
But
and-
Hammond's such a main hub.
Right. Well,
So
Hammond's got a different project that's impacting us. The double track helps Michigan City and Gary a lot more than it helps Hammond. It helps the whole line, right?
Well, it's interesting you say that because with the double track going south, they were having it going to I think Munster. Correct?
That's a different project. The double track, when you refer, and it's a double track also, okay?
Yeah.
But the double track, when you say the words double track, usually they're talking about a gap between Gary and Michigan City where there was literally one line.
Yeah.
And they put another line there. It cost like $500 million. And that line itself, if you see what's going on in Michigan City right now, which it's exploding with new development, it's because of that double track.
We're in Michigan City a lot.
Oh man, Michigan City, Mayor Angie, that's a lady you should get on your show. She's
we'd love
spectacular.
to. She was
Do you
great.
think you could bring her on?
She's spectacular. Mayor Angie, Mayor Josh, I'm going to work for you guys. I'm going to work and get you
He's
some
good
guests.
friends with the mayor of Hobart.
I was in his office right before I walked across the street to see you guys.
We wanted to get him on here. I think that he was kind of like everybody when we bring up Roof Trollz, and they need to understand the concept of it behind it. But when I bring up the title to them, I see it on their faces. Like even some of the guests I've had on, they're like, "Well, what the fuck is Roof Trollz?" And I'm like, "Well, no, hey, hear me out. Trolls is in there for 2 reasons. For the obvious reason, yes, I don't promote drama." But I embrace it. If people want to get on here and they
That's
want to
good
be
for-
dramatic or they want to air some grievances out that other platforms don't allow them to do, well, hell yeah, come on and air it
Roof
out.
Trollz.
It's what people want. But Trolls part of it is also, it's not just about roofing. It can't just be about roofing. I own a roofing company and it's boring as fuck. Like I acknowledge that. The average
Shit,
person
it's not
doesn't.
boring.
Dude, the average person doesn't care about roofing. I'm talking about like if not
Unless
what
your
we
roof
do.
is
we
fucked
sell.
up.
Selling is different than roofing. When I say roofing is boring, what I mean is no one is sitting at home looking at the intricacy of a build. No one's, what happens when they do the tear off? Like, what do they put under? No one cares.
And
they only
also-
care when they got to purchase it. Like we would have no followers if I went on here all day long and just talked about roofing.
And that's what I was going to say.
agreed.
It's like, that's the part, like, the first few episodes would be maybe people that are in this industry would be into it. Oh, man, these guys are talking about roofing. And then, like, IKO or GAF or some siding company, that's a super small niche of people.
Right.
Like, overall. So, again, the other side of it is, yeah, we'll talk about it for 10 minutes.
You guys are like Roof Trolls. I'm like, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about roofs. I'm here. Let's
That's
talk.
what everybody
Do you
says.
need a
well, we don't
roof?
even-
We've done some roofs. Like
I imagine.
We've done
guys are the
some
best
friends
in the
yours
region.
roofs. as
Oh,
well.
yeah?
Quite a bit in Hammond. We've
Which
done a
one?
lot in Michigan City.
I'm going to go check it out.
I got some addresses. I'll pull it
I
for
like
you.
it. I like it.
So going back to
I
2000,
heard you guys are licensed in my city. That's good
We are.
stuff.
We
I'm
are.
glad. I'm glad
well,
to
it
hear
wasn't
that.
easy.
We were going to talk
That's
about
a hard
that,
test,
so
man. I
that's
know.
2 things.
That's
One,
good for you guys, though. You guys are in.
Yeah, we're trying to brand this out to Northwest Indiana. So, like, it was originally for our industry, but now it's like, well, Roof Trollz could be so much more collaboratively wise. Like, we can get in here with everybody, like businesses, politicians, whatever, and we can help, because that's what the platform's designed for, to shine spotlight
Yeah, man.
on people who don't normally have that. So, I think that part's cool. And then with everything that, like, all the connections everybody has, everybody's networking. If we can get into a solid network and then build each other up around that, that's great. I'm sure you guys have roofs that need to get done, and I'm sure that
Hell yeah.
we have guests that need to be on here.
So you mentioned, at the start, you built up this ballpark and you had 400 people and you're just kind of admiring it. Everybody eating popcorn, cheering their team, flying kites.
Yeah.
What other big projects did you have around that? Like, wasn't
How
there
about this?
Cabela's around that time? That
Around that time, yeah, Cabela's is huge. I mean, I bought that with former Woodmar Country Club. It was assessed at like $1.5 million at the time, which is
not a lot of money.
no. But they were doing that because keep in mind, there's a lot of movers and shakers that were part of that club, and the higher the assessed value is, the more tax they have to pay on that. So they were sort of hooking up the owners of
There's
the club.
some tax breaks.
Yeah,
with that
by keeping the
little-
assessed value low. So, but when
the
we
business is doing good
end up oh man,
Yeah.
that whole area now is worth probably $70-80 million since I've redeveloped
It's a
it.
pretty good investment.
He's
Pretty
doing cool
solid.
shit for the youth too. That what is that?
we go to
Hammond on the Lakes. Festival on the
Oh,
Lakes.
Festival
Yeah.
on the Lakes.
Our
That's-
lineup-
dude, you're
Thanks,
fucking
man.
rocking
Dude,
it
we
right now.
killed it
I don't
this
think
year.
you get enough credit.
We
for them.
killed it this year.
Yeah, dude, the guests that you guys are bringing on, they're
Dude,
like, bro,
you're
what
not
the
gonna
fuck?
believe what we got this year.
I can't wait.
Can you tell
It's our
us?
best.
You don't.
I can tell you
wanna,
2 of
We
them.
don't want to break it on Roof Trollz. Here we go.
Hang on,
I can't because they'll fuck up the contracts that we made with these guys.
Does anyone else know about this?
I can tell you the two. Brantley Gilbert. I don't know if you guys like country music.
I know exactly.
He's playing
Brantley.
Thursday night. Brantley
Wow.
Gilbert. Yeah, he's solid, and he's a really good looking guy too. I mean, I'm very heterosexual.
You guys heard that?
but-
Roof Trollz.
Better looking than Josh because
Roof
Josh
Trollz.
has got the eyes.
Josh is
man.
good looking, but Brantley Gilbert's all tatted up and he's like ripped. Josh is not tatted up and ripped. You know,
Okay.
Mayor Josh is a good looking dude though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
right?
well,
And who's the other one that we're on,
Latin
though?
Night. Okay, I'm gonna brutalize this name. Okay, it's like La Areala. If you're of the Mexican descent and you listen to Mexican music, you know the band I'm talking about. I
Okay.
probably just mispronounced the name, but let me tell you something. This band that we got for Latin Night is exciting. Almost everybody that knows anything about Latin
Oh
music.
yeah, man.
The Latin Night in Hammond. It's funny when I get a rap act. I'm not going to get like Kanye. I'm not going to get Kanye. That's a bad
we don't
example.
want
right?
Kanye.
Okay, Kendrick Lamar. How about that? I'm not going to get Kendrick because he's too new and too current. So usually, if I'm going to get a rapper, I get like
You got Lil Wayne, right?
we got Lil Wayne
Yeah.
a couple years ago. You know, Ti. You get people that were big and they're not as big anymore, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
That's okay.
Now, see,
No, I mean-
see, you did a power move that you didn't even know. I don't even think you knew what
What's
you
that?
were doing at that Limp Bizkit.
That was-
They circled
dude.
around,
Yes,
and
sir.
you hit them right on the wraparound. Like
We've caught that a couple times. I agree with you, brother.
He books them right after he books them. They're on like 8 different tours. Now they're headlining some huge
Big
tour they
time.
got coming on. Like
Yep.
they're back with a whole bunch of big bands. Like for
Limp
some
Bizkit
reason,
was big, what, 90s?
Yeah.
Creed and Limp Bizkit are
Yeah.
on the rise now.
I
They're
agree with you,
back.
man. And
Yeah,
by the
they're
way,
back.
some of my favorite memories of the fest, the first Limp Bizkit show. I don't know if you were there, but everybody who was there will remember it. First off, Fred Durst. I was told this guy was going to be such a jerk, and oh my god, you're going to hate this guy. I love him. He is the best businessman we've ever worked with at the fest, and he cares about his band, and he's freaking smart. Like you guys, you care about your business, so he watches it, and you don't see that. Usually, we're dealing with lawyers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So Fred Durst takes an active interest. He books the show. We bring him in. I totally agree. We got him at a good price. We got him early, and now they're huge. But that day, it poured rain.
I was there.
Dude,
I have photos.
They played-
So I loved Limp Bizkit growing up.
We're going to
Dude,
show those
they
photos
were
on
so
this.
Yeah,
amazing.
I get some. There's a video. It's my now wife. We took my son. It was one
Right.
of the first times we all got to go out together.
it was a monsoon.
Yeah, it just fucking pours, and I'm like excited. We're going on like this date with my kid, and we have to go. We have to do a couple of the slides, but it was
Dude.
like
That's what happened with us when you guys booked Sublime with Rome.
Yeah.
a few
Oh,
years
God,
prior.
one of my
and I
favorite
was there
nights.
too, and it was raining, but it was a
That was
a
epic.
beautiful night.
It was
though. It was a
epic.
beautiful night.
I
The
love
rain
Sublime with
made it-
Rome.
Made it perfect.
Does this have anything to do with 219 Day? Like, what's
The
that?
219 day is more a
that
made
a
up
Hammond
holiday.
thing or-
No, it's a region thing. It's 219
Yeah.
after our area code.
Why does it have to
So
be
on
in
February
February?
19th, I know. But
So
it's like we don't got anything else going in
Oh,
February.
you
It's
know
like,
what? My family will kill me if I don't bring up to you.
Let's go.
So my brother takes the kids every year to I believe, is it the Guest Center? They do the Christmas story.
Yeah. The
With the
South Star
slide?
Convention of Visitors. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
big in hand. I
yeah.
didn't realize what. a
Yeah,
big,
last year we had all the actors.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that was cool.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a huge thing there. No, I don't think it gets
Yeah, the
enough
Convention of
play.
Visitors Bureau.
I didn't know about it until like 4
Yeah.
or 5 years ago. My brother's like, dude, I've been going every
Yeah.
year with my family. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I didn't even know.
Well,
Really?
last year
Do
was
you-
a big
do you
one.
know?
Do
We
I
had
know
all
what?
the
Like,
actors from the Christmas story
well,
got together
the house
last
is
year.
what, in Hammond or what?
No, it
Oh,
was at the
or-
Convention of Visitors Bureau. The house, believe it or not, everybody thinks that was filmed in Hammond. It was about Hammond, but it was filmed in Cleveland. I'm still pissed
Okay.
about it.
That's-
Because my dad was mayor then. My dad
Oh, I
should have
know the
freaking.
feeling. I'm a huge Halloween fan. Like that's just my shit.
Right.
If I was my tattoos, I'm all tatted up. But they shot that whole movie in California.
Yeah.
And it's Haddonfield, Illinois. My whole life, I'm like, yeah, hell
We have
yeah,
some
dude. I was
Halloween
born.
sketches.
I'm born, in a state where Michael Myers was born at, and I'm like, no, he's not. He's from fucking California. Like, none of
Dude,
it's shot here.
that sucks.
Speaking of Halloween, you guys
Yeah.
do a big thing for Halloween, like your house, you and your wife.
Yeah, we always do. We do like a scary little setup.
oh yeah.
And
And then
our
you
house
guys
is
hand out like big candy bars or something? And is it
in my
nonstop for
neighborhood.
like 2 hours or something?
Yeah.
Do you get to set those hours, or you're like, you know what, we
As
gotta
mayor, I get to
lower the
set those
budget this
hours.
year. We're
No,
only-
as mayor,
I'm
you
mayor.
set-
We're only
That's
doing
one
a
of the
half
things I
hour.
didn't realize as mayor. You have power over Halloween. That
But
is
they
one of
know
them.
where you live.
Hell yeah.
Is
Dude,
that cool? Is
I'm
that,
like,
hell
if you
yeah.
want to celebrate on the 30th, the mayor could say, "Hey, we're doing Halloween on the 30th this year." But I'm a traditionalist, man. I'm like, no,
you're always
old
the
school.
31st.
I
I don't care if
respect
it's a
that.
Sunday night. We're doing it on a Thursday. We're
I
doing it on
agree.
the
I agree.
31st.
I respect
Right?
that. Yeah.
I'm like,
I
there's
do,
people are like, Mayor, it's gonna rain tonight. Can we do Halloween tomorrow? I'm like, no.
Right.
Halloween is on
As
the
a homeowner,
31st.
that's
So they know
legitimately
every
my
year
favorite.
regardless.
Hell yeah.
I always sit outside. Like I'll bring Aria to the end of the street and back. As my daughter, I'll bring her to the end of the street and back. But then they take her, my in-laws and my fiance, they'll take her and walk around the neighborhood. And then I just love, dude. I have the speaker out there. I got an animatronic of Michael Myers. I put the speaker on the Halloween music for like a whole loop the whole time blasting, and then the kids come up and they grab the candy, and it's like, dude, that's my favorite part of a homeowner. I swear to God, it is. Like,
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
then
fun
all my
stuff.
neighbors are like, oh, you guys do great every year. You guys are amazing. Like they bring their kids by, taking photos and stuff. Like I love that. We do
That's
a
cool.
Christmas.
So you
and a
guys go
Halloween
all
setup.
out. Like, do you dress
We
up
don't go.
then?
So I've done it a couple of times where I will like sit and I'll put on like a costume and I'll just be sitting on the patio,
you're-
and they don't know if you're like a dummy or not.
Right,
You just sit
that's
real
the best.
still,
'Cause you
and
gotta
then
have
they
the
come up
dummy
and you
there
like
for
reach
weeks.
up.
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
I
that's
do that
awesome.
sometimes.
Being a mayor is a demanding job. I
Yeah.
mean, how do you balance that with your personal life and
It's-
friendships and
Thanks.
get it some
It's
balance?
actually an amazingly wonderful job, and that's why I'm still doing it after 22 years. Is the cool thing about being mayor is, and I told this to Josh. I tell it to all my. When I first became mayor, I made mistakes. I got in and I would like want to be in every meeting. Somebody's like, "Yeah, I'm having a 7:30 a.m. Can you be there?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then somebody's like, "Hey, I got an 8 o'clock p.m. Can you be there?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I'm like running to everybody else's schedule. And I did that for like a year. And I was like, dude, my wife's going to divorce me. I'm miserable. I'm stressed. So I was like, listen, I'm the mayor. I'm going to set my schedule. And if people want to see me, they're going to come and see me at my schedule. I'm not going to do a 7:30 a.m. because I don't fucking like 7:30 a.m. appointments, right? And
yeah.
I just started like approaching it differently. Like,
God, I had
I'll meet with
7:30
you. I look at my work
classes.
hours are like, honestly, I look at like, I'm on at 10 o'clock all the time, and I'm usually available until 8 p.m. That's work hours. That's fair game for me, except for Sundays.
So, Mayor McDermott, today, what advice would you give Mayor Tom on day one of being mayor that you know today?
And it's the same advice I give to Mayor Josh and all of my mayor friends is, when you're in a meeting, look around and ask yourself, did I really need to be here for this?
Right.
Okay. And even as a boss, I think that's good. I've learned over 22 years, I made a million mistakes to get to where I am now. Now I'm in this meeting. And if there's like if I have like people in a meeting arguing amongst themselves and they haven't made a decision, I'm like, why the fuck am I in here?
Right.
You guys don't even know what the hell's going on. And you want me to listen to your argument? Like,
Yeah.
get your shit together and call me back when you're ready to make a decision here. And then I'll come in and say, yeah, I agree with you,
Right.
So
Or
like,
disagree or whatever.
I'm a way tougher boss now than I was when I first became mayor.
Well, yeah, you're no
I'm not like a
nonsense. Your
dick.
time is valuable.
Yeah, but like also, I look at my role different. I'm 56 also. So like I was a kid when I became mayor. I'm 56 now. So I am an older person, and I've been the mayor a long time. I know what I'm doing. So like if somebody, I'm never a dick to people because that goes back to the submarine days because I'm not a dick. But I tell you what, man, if somebody doesn't do their job the right way, I'm not pussyfooting around. I'm like, dude, like what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
you're in charge of this and it's all messed up.
I enjoy that. Even if it was from a superior standpoint or beneath me at all, I enjoy that. I love getting along with everybody, having a great time, and then biting someone's head off when they fuck up. Like
Yeah.
You do
I think
that.
it's crucial.
You do that.
It's just communication.
Yeah, but it shows that there's a deeper side to this. Like I'm passionate about what I do,
Fuck yeah.
and other than my daughter, this is my baby. Roman's
Good for you,
Roofing
man.
is my child. Like I groom it, I take care of it, I love it.
I love it.
And if you fuck with it, like yeah, you get the claws.
But
man.
like,
don't know
I
what to
think
say
it's more
about it.
important though. Like, if you could be friends, I could be friends with the people that work for the city of Hammond. I love them. I would die for them. And like, but at the same time, they have a job to do. In politics. So you have a buddy's like, hey man, I've known you forever. I need a job. Can you give me a job? I'm like, okay. So you give this person a job, and they go in there and they're like, fuck, I know the mayor. I don't have to do shit now.
No.
I fire so many people. It's like, dude, are you freaking crazy?
We're going through the growing pains right now. It's
Yeah,
crazy
man.
how it correlates because
Right?
one of our good friends was our top salesman.
Your
last
best
year.
friend.
That's my best friend, but he would be my second best friend.
Okay.
One of my best friends, we worked with him for 7. I worked with him for 7 years in this industry. Top sales guy last year, won an award, everything. We're creating a culture now and trying to make it like a destination spot for sales reps. So it's no longer just come here, fuck off, and get by. Like I need to make we've done everything except for become professionals. So, like, that's where we're at now. We need to be a more professional. Yeah. So we had to let him go because he was bad for culture and he was just not a good leader. He led the guys, but he didn't lead them, like he just led them in sales. And like, there's more to this job than just sales. And firing our top guy, I was like, fuck, man, is this something we really want to do? Like, I've been with this guy's fucking done a lot. And then since we've gotten rid of him, and sorry if he's listening right now, since we've gotten rid of him, culture's fucking...
Morale's just up, man. Like,
everybody came to us afterward on a real level. Yep. Everybody came to one of the individuals afterward and was like, hey, man, I really respect that move. You guys made the right decision.
I think you're still grieving his loss, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, that's my homie, and I wish that we would like work together forever. That's what I wanted for him. I wanted him to own an office.
So hold it. How did that affect? I mean, is he not talking to you?
No, that's still my boy.
Okay.
No, yeah.
You know how many friends I've lost because of business?
Well, I try to make that as clear to them as I possibly can. Like, I don't want to do that. I think that would be like really dumb on both of our ends to let the business affect it. But at the same time, when you own a business, you have a responsibility to the people that work for you. And that's where the responsibility has to be over the friendship. And he knows that. And I had that conversation with him. And, Well,
we have friends that work here now, right? So we still have friends like that. And so someone recently just moved here from Texas. It's taken a huge leap and like, hey, can this work out? And we're like, yeah. And we've already had a conversation like, hey, man, like I've known him since I was 6. I played basketball with this guy. He's he stood up at my wedding along with Elijah, one of my best friends. And it's like, hey, I'm your boy outside of work.
Right.
But at work, I'm your boss.
Good.
And we had to have that conversation. But I think it stems to kind of go back a little bit to what you said about like your people and the city, and something that I know, knowing Jeff a little bit prior to this, and then Elijah my whole life, is it seems that you're the same about what I'm going to say is that, you give everyone your respect, your trust, your loyalty, your commitment, and then they have to have that. They almost earn that getting taken away.
Right.
Right. Like, and that's, I worked in the service industry, like food and beverage, a long time. And so I just think, especially you being a public servant the way you are, same with you, Jeff, is like, I want to give you everything that I can. I'm here to help you grow because in turn it's going to help me grow. But if you screw that up, like I can't do anything else after that. And
speaking of public servants, the first time my first memory meeting you, probably 2008, 2009. We'll say 2009, late. You're in the government center in the county. Like,
you're a prosecutor?
I was a prosecutor.
I was a public defender.
I thought you were covering for Marissa, your wife.
No. Well, maybe I was. You know what? That's exactly what it is.
Because
that's where we met.
You're like, we need this.
That's where we met. You were a prosecutor.
Of Hammond.
Yes. You were a prosecutor, and I was your public defender.
He must be covering for...
My man.
He must
that's
be...
exactly
I still do public defending work.
Okay. I love public defending.
Really?
I love it.
Dude,
I miss it a lot.
I just had to do a jury trial on Thursday.
I miss it. I was actually talking to Marissa about this the other day.
Really?
I public defender. I did that for 6 years.
In whose courtroom? Is it Julie Cantrell?
Yeah, in Judge Cantrell's. I was Thursday
so
afternoon.
You're an attorney before you were a...
I still am a lawyer, but
he went to Notre Dame Law School.
Yeah, I have a license, so if you ever mess up, give me a call. I can help you out.
Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, just call Jeff. He's active.
Did Judge Cantrell's roof, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, by the way, you have a very big resemblance to Chris Bryant. You ever hear that?
A lot.
Yeah, man. Totally. I'm like,
appreciate
and
that.
You got the Cubs hat on. I'm like,
it's a huge compliment.
I feel like if you throw a jersey on, I'm like with Chris Bryant.
We've had to
Hold
come.
on,
You've
I'm
heard
a
that
Sox
before.
fan. Chris Bryant would be the third baseman.
Cubs third baseman during the
If I
World
was
Series.
6'5"
Colorado,
and like 220,
Right.
I'd be spot on.
You should do
You
that.
are. You have
should put on some
you have
muscle.
a big resemblance.
So
to Chris
I had
Bryant.
the same hairstyle, like when he had like that faux hawk mohawk. I swear to God, like I was like, this is too canon. But I
like
get it all
throw
the
the
time.
Cubs jersey on, dude. Go out, stand in front of Wrigley. You can get away with it.
I did. It was crazy.
Sign
man.
a couple autographs.
We would go out and people would ask, like, they would give me a look and they're like, "Oh man, you look like Chris Bryant."
Dude, if you put a Cubs jersey on, people would be full. That would be funny.
Start just signing autographs, people taking pictures of you.
Yeah, right.
We'll bring
If
the
you
crew.
would need like 3 people for that gang, do it for the podcast, right? Just go out there and sign
That'd be
autographs
really
and have a
funny.
few people hang out. You would have a
That'd
line
be
of people.
great. Yeah, we'll interview you there outside Wrigley or something in Wrigleyville.
Well, you're a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
So is Elijah.
Huge.
Myself again. It's
Yeah. What are you
Time
gonna do?
Better time to be
What
a
are you
Cubs
gonna
fan
do,
than a
you
Sox
know?
fan.
And Notre Dame fans, and I know
go
that's why I
Irish.
started listening to your podcast to
Thank
begin
you.
with. So I know you're a big Irish fan.
Big football.
Yeah,
Well, we
us
know
too.
you
We're
graduated
we're
from it
season
now.
ticket
Yeah.
holders for Notre Dame.
Nice. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
hang out. I go to all the games.
Do
So you went to all the
the
playoff
games.
games except the national
I
championship.
didn't go to the national championship because Marissa and I had booked a ski trip. But I didn't think they were going to make it that far. I'll be honest with you.
Right.
But we went to everyone. I was there in New Orleans when the terrorist event happened, and we were in Miami, and then It was awesome run. I'm super proud of him. Second place.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
And my
they had a
favorite
good
player's
season.
back. So like, it's just.
What's your
just
favorite
amazing. Jeremiah Love.
He's amazing.
Oh, he didn't commit.
He's
didn't
literally the-
announce
He turned down $4.5 million
Yeah.
from what,
Really?
Georgia or something like
Yeah,
that?
dude,
to
he's
play-
to
in
stay
my
in
opinion,
love
that's the
him.
best back in college football right
Yeah.
now. He will be the
Why
best. back
isn't he
in
going
college
to
football.
pro? He turned down $4.5 million to go pro.
No,
No.
for NIL money to go play at Georgia.
Yeah,
Really?
To
Yeah.
stay. at
He didn't
Notre
wanna
Dame.
go
To stay.
this
He's going to
isn't-
be famous, though. Like,
yeah, and it's not the
he'll
draft
be like
out
Jerome
there.
Bettis famous. Like,
Yeah.
when Jerome Bettis goes to a football game, people like run across to go hang. Like, he's going to be famous like that. Like, stay at Notre Dame, man.
It's a hard lifestyle for them to get rid of too, because I don't know if you remember Matt Leinart. I met him actually. He
Yeah,
was
I
at the
remember Matt
We were
Indiana
at the
game.
game. He was at the
Quarterback
game.
UFC.
Yeah.
IU
So
game.
I like to use him as an example for it because that's the first guy that like let us really know like what the college life was about. Because the guy won the Heisman and the state championship our title, and then came back. Came back again the year after, and people were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, and then he was in a Heisman run again with Reggie Bush. Then he comes out and they're like, "Well, you would have been the first pick in the draft." And then I remember he was doing an interview with Lindsay Zerniak. She used to be a broadcaster on SportsCenter, but he was doing an interview with her. He's like, "I go to school." He's like, "I'm pretty much like next year." He's like, "I'm going to be done. I don't have classes." He's like, "I'm playing football." He's like, I'm having a time of my life here." He's like, "Why would I leave?" And you put it in perspective, like. Why would they, dude? 'Cause,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the kings of that campus. Like, why
You're
would
like
they want to leave?
IU. I make $3 million a year to play football,
Yeah.
and there's beautiful people everywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I could hang out there for a couple of years. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to play for the Bears or, you know, they're gonna bust your ass every day. You
Well,
know,
that was
it's like-
before the NIL deals. He just like
Yeah,
the college
right.
life was that
Right.
great for
Matt
him.
Leinart was
but
waiting
now,
for it.
now with the NIL deals, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
what's the Travis Henry with Colorado?
Yeah.
That kid makes
Travis
$15 million
Hunter,
a year.
Yeah.
Right now, $15 million
Yeah.
a year. He's not even a pro yet.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, that's
Yeah, you see these
insane
college
what-
kids, they're like got $10,000 necklaces on. It's like,
I'm for it though. Like we've
am
been
too.
buying college jerseys. We've been going to college games. We've been playing college video games. Like all of us have been making money off of their backs for a long time. And the universities are fucking just taking them behind the
I
woodshed.
came up with Drew Brees, Kyle Orton
No
at
way.
Purdue. So
Yeah,
they were
man.
in
Those
my
were-
dorm
I love
at Wiley
Kyle Orton.
Hall.
those are the best.
So I would play
Those years.
poker, underground poker games,
Uh-huh.
and they just open up their wallet, just filled with cash, and they're like, because I would fold for $2, and they're like,
aren't you
"It's-
guys supposed to be broke?
I'm like, he's like, it's $1 because it was $1, $2 blinds. I don't know if you play poker. Your
Oh.
dad does. I played with
I
your
love
dad a
po-
lot.
I
I
love
don't know if you knew
poker.
that.
No, I didn't. That's great.
Played a lot of poker with your dad. And they would just have, they're like, it's $1. I'm like, I don't have a good hand, but then they'd bust out and just more money, just, obviously before NIL.
By the way,
but
those are my favorite.
they would just
years.
get letters
When
in the
Notre Dame
mail
and
and
Purdue
say,
would
good
play.
game.
They would still get they would
Good
still
game,
get paid.
$1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what what's his name, Nick Saban was doing down there in Bama. Just pay, we already knew it. Everybody knew it for years. Ohio State.
He never got
they
caught
were
though,
paying-
right?
No, but we knew it, dude. You're getting paid, paying players to go there.
Yeah.
All the top recruits, this is before the NIL deals are all going there. That's why That's why Saban left. Like he was sick of the NIL deals going in favor of the other schools because now everybody was on a level playing field. Like if you have money,
He's announcing now.
you
Is
spend
that
it.
what he's doing?
That's what Notre Dame should do. Like,
Well, Notre
yeah,
Dame's
he
gonna
is-
be like the
$20
Dodgers and
million
Yankees now.
for sticking independent. Now they got $20 million for
Dude.
NIL. They could buy a championship.
I'm
next
not a
year.
Yankee fan, and
They
I'm
better.
not. And I'm
Your
not a
wife's
Dod-
a Yankee fan.
Yeah,
but
she is, and I'm
she's
a Yankee
from
fan because I'm
Poland,
married to
but
her.
she's from.
Yeah,
she
she
lived
grew
in
up
New
in New
York.
York.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I think Notre Dame in college football is going to be like the Dodgers are. They're going to be the big behemoth, and
It was a
Man,
smart
I'm a
move.
Boilermaker, so I'm supposed to hate them.
Yeah.
It was a smart move staying independent. It was
Yeah,
a smart
I agree.
move.
Dude, they
and then
got
if
so
you can
much money
develop
this
a
year.
good team, Freeman is a monster at recruiting. His
oh,
time
the kids
management
love
is
him.
questionable, but his recruiting is top notch.
Yeah.
I can't stand his time management. I was at the Ohio State game 2 years ago. When we lose in the final seconds.
That was brutal.
And it's like, dude, what are we throwing the ball for with 1:40 left?
We're
And
going to
you know
hang
the
out at
clock
Notre Dame,
stops in
but
college.
we're going to hang out at Notre Dame games. I
Oh,
like it.
I
You know
would
your
love
shit.
It.
I like
would
it.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have that badass. What's the restaurant down there? The pub that's at the corner.
Linebacker?
There?
Did we go to that?
No,
or
no,
no?
no. It's past
Is
that.
it
O'Rourke's.
O'Rourke's?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Oh,
it's called
yeah.
O'Rourke's.
Dude, it's called the Horseman there, but it's what is it? Marble Rye.
It's a
with
Reuben.
yeah, it's a Reuben. Dude, it's so good
Fucking
with
phenomenal.
marble rye
All
bread.
right.
Like it's
We're going to Irish games
and
next
car
year.
bombs.
All right.
We should.
Notre Dame's playing Purdue next year, aren't they?
They
I'm
used
pre-
to play them
no.
every year, obviously. And
They're
I was
playing
in the, I
because
was
they
in the
played
band at
last
Purdue.
year. They're playing. I think they're playing in Indianapolis this year. Notre Dame.
Okay,
Purdue.
good.
Oh,
then
that'd
let's go.
That'd be fun.
Let's
We're
do
there.
it.
At Lucas
Let's do
Oil.
it. I think they're
I mean,
because they
going to
played at
Indy,
West
it's weird.
Lafayette this year because I went there. It was fun. It was a bad day because my kid goes to Purdue. So my kid's a big Boilermaker fan, and he comes out. He's got
Chase, or what's
my son Patrick. He's their youngest. He's a freshman there, so he has the overalls with the Purdue colors, and he's like comes out. He's like, "We're gonna kick your ass."
What's he studying?
He's in computer science.
Now you were a nuclear engineer. Or
Yeah, in the Navy, I was nuke. Yeah, I worked as a nuclear electrician.
and he's an attorney.
Yeah.
and a mayor for 22 years.
Jack of all trades. If you guys want me to be a roofer, I can help you out.
Yeah. Hey.
Let's go.
I believe it.
Let's go.
For
I
anyone
can swing a hammer.
listening, a Hammond resident or someone considering public service or a leader in their own field, do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to be in public office in Hammond, I would start going to city council meetings. I think that's the basics because that's where you're going to learn the issues. That's what I did. I went to every council meeting for about 2 years before I ran, and that in itself starts creating rumors because they're like, "What the hell is McDermott showing up to all these council meetings for?"
Would you say that's for every city?
I think if I was going to run in, let's say I wanted to run in Hobart, I would show up to the council meeting and I would start meeting the people, the players. I would introduce myself to the precinct people and the chairman of the party and start getting involved like that. You start, going to the events, the fundraisers. That's where everybody is. And it'll cost you $100 or $50 to get in, but it's worth it because you're going to go in there and not only do you usually get a couple drinks out of that, you get to meet everybody in the game. And so like fundraisers are important. You don't have to buy 20 tickets. You can buy one ticket and go in there and enjoy yourself. But that's how you introduce yourself to the players.
Could Hobart be Hammond in 20 years?
I think Hobart has so much growth and potential, and I think Mayor Josh is the right guy to do it. I really do. And I've known all Hobart's mayors, going back to Mayor Linda. I've always been real close. And I think Hobart's always been looked at as sort of a quiet, sleepy kind of place. And I think Mayor Josh is sort of looking at things differently. And he's a Hobart native. He played for Hobart football team. He's Hobart 100%. So, and by the way, I think Mayor Josh is in the big leagues right now trying to get this convention center. That's a big deal for Hobart if he can land it. That's the kind of thing. If Mayor Josh could land that in Hobart, that's the re-election.
Convention center. Isn't there something about like a server or something? Like they're going to build like a building to house servers?
There's a big building going up in Hobart. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, are you talking about the data center?
Yeah, the data center.
Yeah. I know Hobart's got a big data center going up right now.
Who's objecting to that?
Usually, if you do, if it's
Or the
anywhere
local
near.
residents?
Well, what the thing is about data centers, you got to realize is each data center that they put in has enough electrical usage as a steel mill, which
so
is
it could
incredible.
power the whole town or something.
Basically, if one data center comes in, it's sucking enough. It's sucking 10 times more than in every house in Hobart and every business in Hobart's pulling. That data center is
10 times.
10 times easily. It's like a steel mill. And so NIPSCO has to approach things differently because these data centers are trying to eat up all the megawatts, and we have to live here too. You can't just power the data centers and all of us go dark every time it rains. So there's a lot of give and take involving NIPSCO, and then these things do make noise and they do draw a lot of water. And so they're good for the taxes, I agree, because they're $1 billion investments, but these things are going to be there for 50 years.
And if you don't
nuclear,
maybe
the nuclear, there's 3 Mile Island right now. We all know 3 Mile Island.
Yeah.
3 Mile Island is being bought by Microsoft. And 100% of the output of 3 Mile Island nuclear power is going to go to power data centers. That's what's going on. All this AI, all the automated driving, all that stuff they're talking about. That's why they need to build these data centers, because there's not enough capacity for our smartphones and our cars and everything that we need. Data centers, that's where it's at. So you're going to be hearing a lot about that over the next decade.
So is that going to bring money to Hobart just with the convention?
The
convention
tax
center
money.
would. Yeah,
tax money, big time. It's $1 billion investment we're talking about.
So this was a good purchase for us.
Hobart has one of the
roofing
big
company.
data centers going in the state right now, and so that's awesome for for Mayor Bryan and Mayor Josh both, and for the residents. And Hobart placed it away from sensitive areas, but right now in Porter County, on the front page of the Post Tribune today, they're fighting tooth and nail over data centers. They don't want them. They're like, put them in Lake County, keep them away from us. Keep in mind, Porter County is also the county that shot down casino gaming too. I don't know if that was a decision they wouldn't take back.
Hammond, the Horseshoe, is it? What's going on there? Is it struggling with
it's definitely struggling. It's definitely struggling. I mean, and we knew it. The rules got changed on us, know, and they said you don't have to be on water anymore, and they moved Hard Rock to 8094, and now it's sucking all the oxygen out of the casino industry. So a lot of people that used to work at Horseshoe lost their jobs. A lot of them migrated over to Hard Rock. It's just...
I worked there.
Yeah?
6 years.
Yeah. Horseshoe?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's not the same.
It's not.
gutted.
I played a lot of cards there back in the pre-kids, pre-marriage.
Yeah, it's gutted, unfortunately. But hopefully I think we have the best location. Another thing that's complicating that is the stupid toll road, man. They keep raising the toll rates from Chicago.
Who owns that?
It's a Australian.
Yeah, foreign company,
Firm, right.
foreign country.
Right, and they jack up the rates on us, and we're like, so that's one of the main ways in from Chicago. So
Let me ask you something, just because we brought up the casino, and I've always wondered this, and I just don't know my geology for that part of Hammond. How is that Hammond?
what's that?
So the casino's part of Hammond, yet you have Robertsdale Whiting, and then Hammond again.
Well, like you're getting because this happens a lot is people that live in Robertsdale think they live in Whiting because
no, it's a municipality, correct?
well, no, that's Hammond over there, but it's just called Robertsdale. It's like we call Hessville, but that's still Hammond. They vote for me, right? Robertsdale is part of Hammond.
Did not know that.
But I know, and so I would talk to somebody that lived in the neighborhood. You lived in North Hammond, but so somebody lives in Robertsdale. I'm like, where do you live? And they're like, oh, I live in Whiting. I'm like, what's your address? And they tell me. I'm like, dude, you live in Hammond, asshole. Like, I'm your mayor, right?
Did not know that.
I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, what? It says Whiting on my envelope. I'm like, yeah, you have a post office in Whiting, but you live in Hammond. Like, let's get that straight. It's a big misconception.
I literally lived off that street. You know, the skate shop was there in high school. Like, I was there all the time. I think everyone I went to high school with thought Robertsdale was Whiting. It was Robertsdale Whiting. It's literally what you called it.
And when I go in and talk to all the students, I'm like, you live in Hammond. I'm your mayor.
That's funny.
Didn't know that. I was like, oh, it's like a municipality.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Spread knowledge.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Hard Rock?
One time.
It's man.
I don't let myself go.
Yeah,
It's the evil empire for me.
is it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
support,
but that's why I'm still around after 22 years, man.
Yeah.
It's like saying, would you guys like,
He's
hey,
a
you know
loyal
what? I needed a shingle, and instead of buying it for my business, I went to the competitor down the street. You're like, hell no, I don't need that shingle that bad.
Gotta
I'll
be
just
loyal,
right.
yeah.
I'm a Hammond guy,
if you-
dude.
You know, you're walking around there, people
evil
taking
empire. And
pictures
by
of
the
you.
way, I'm sort of a dick like that because I'm like with my employees because they're like, hey, I'm going to a concert at Hard Rock. That's cool, right? I'm like, yeah, but I better not see any fucking city money going through with the name Hard Rock on there. You're not spending Hammond money to do stuff.
Right.
We're not holding events at Hard Rock. I can fucking tell you that, you know. But like, go to Hard Rock, enjoy yourself. But like, yeah.
Well, we went to a badass event. That UFC. What they have there? The recent
Was
that
it
was a couple weeks ago.
Bellator?
Yeah.
Was that at Hard Rock or
No, that was at
Horseshoe, right?
Horseshoe, yeah. No, believe me, Horseshoe.
We got a table right outside the ring. It was
Good
my
for you,
first time
man.
at a fight. Dude, it was awesome. We brought all of our guys with us. It was so cool.
Nice.
Well, the
Yeah.
venue used to be the shit. It was the
Yeah,
before
man. That was my idea.
before Hard Rock was here. You know, the venue was a really big concert hall, and then you guys.
I remember I was
Lake.
negotiating with the big wigs from the casino industry. We were at a golf course in Tennessee, and we were talking about what we called Moab at the time. That's what the mother of all boats. Right.
Yeah.
So we were hashing out because they were like, "Listen, we're gonna either have a hotel or we're gonna have a venue. Like, can't do both." And then we were going back and forth, and I was like, "You got to have a venue." And I was playing hardball because I'm like, "Fuck you! There's no way they're gonna build a casino with no hotel,
So
right?"
you were involved with all that, which is super interesting because
So I was
again,
like, venue. And then they showed me the venue. I'm like, that one. And they're like, okay, we'll do it. But like, we're not going to have a hotel. I'm like, okay, they'll build the hotel.
So
So
it
here
was
we are
because of
20
the
years
venue.
later.
You a golfer
Yeah. I mean, I'm not
and
great.
skier.
Yeah, big skier. Big skier. But
Big
like
skier.
golf,
Is your
I could
wife
golf.
a big skier?
Yeah. Man, Marissa and I have
Where
a
do you guys
cabin.
ski at?
We have a cabin in Michigan, but like when we ski, I go out west because I'm a good skier. So like Marissa, she doesn't mind going to Michigan. I think Marissa would admit I'm a better skier than her. I like go on blacks, and you know I could ski down almost anything, even double blacks. I could ski down. I don't love double blacks, but I could ski down them. But like
Got to be more on your
Marissa's more
game
like
with the double, I'm sure.
Oh, dude, doubles could get ugly
Yeah.
because they're steep and they have rocks and stuff. So, but like I'm usually like blue black guy. So, but I'm a really good skier.
I want to give a shout out to your wife because
She's
you know I
really
got to
good.
know her barely. Like I know she knows who I am, but the thing about her, she walks around, she calls you by name,
Oh yeah,
and I'm usually
she's a
like,
real person.
you know, hey.
Marissa's a real person.
So she says your name every time.
She's
but
a real
even
person. She's a
people in
judge,
my own
but she's a
company,
real
I'm just
person.
like, hey, you.
How many
I'm
people do you have working here?
What do we got? 50?
30.
Oh,
no, we're at
yeah.
like 36.
Oh, big laugh.
Here,
Huh? I'm just messing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, if you count the counterparts too, though, like I mean, they're in the building with us, so
Yeah, but I mean, so Romans itself is 36.
yeah.
We're scaling up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this time of year too, you start getting busier, right?
Yeah.
Yep. This is
really
our
busy.
this is the start of our season. So it's
We've been on the rise. We just added a lot of pieces. So when we first came in here in June of
22.
23 or 22.
22.
Yeah,
I started
22.
in 20, 21. Angelo, year of Angelo was 22.
Yep. Then 23.
So it's when we came here.
23.
So May of 23, we come over here and we finished the year at $7 million for 23.
Wow.
So then we come in at 24, and we just came off 14.5 million. So last year. So now we added like 10 or 15 sales reps, and we're going to continue to hire throughout the year. But now we're offering a 401k
Very
with
attractive
a 3%,
package.
Yeah,
at you
with a
guys.
3% match. We got
You
a
guys are
base
young,
pay.
man. You guys are young to be running this. This is
They're
awesome.
young. We got, I mean,
Let me
like
tell you
said,
something.
36, 38.
Well, either 36, 46, 56,
I'm 46,
right?
yeah.
That's this three right here.
Yeah.
So
10 years apart.
we're doing great. We got,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm proud of you guys, man.
oh, thank you.
It's good stuff, man. Honestly. It's
Is that
good to
an
see
Aura
young
ring
people.
on your finger?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking about getting one of those.
I love it. I love it.
So
it tracks my
you
sleep.
take
It tracks
health
yeah.
like-
I've ever since I started wearing this, I've got a lot
Tracks
more.
your sleep? Or?
Yeah, that's the main thing. It starts with that, and now I'm like addicted to it. I check it every morning. I
So-
chart.
Do you
It's-
like that better? I assume then, did you have the whoop strap and all that? Did you
No,
try
I
that?
did not.
You
This is
never
the first
tried
time
that?
I did.
Okay.
I started doing the ring game on the watch, but like the Aura ring is a lot better. But I do both of them.
How long you been doing the Aura ring?
About 3 or 4 years. I was one of the first. That
One
I
of the
knew.
first.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
saw it on
upgraded
Jimmy
since?
Kimmel one time, and I was like, "What is that?" And I ordered it off.
I love Jeff, dude. I love everything about him. If you guys aren't watching on YouTube, what you should be, but if you're not, Jeff brought a notepad here, and
Yeah, I
he
just want to
was-
make sure I got some
I
good
mean,
questions.
he was prepped. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. This is a good.
You take stretching seriously too, though, too.
well. How did you know? How do you
Oh,
know?
I
that?
know
I know where you're going with
dude.
this.
It's
Oh, yeah.
the transition.
I got the same. I got the same
You go to stretch lab?
flexologist.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Ashley.
Shout out to Ashley and
She's
Brooke.
the best.
She is the best.
Yeah.
We only
You go
have
to
the
stretch
best.
lab?
What's up?
You go to stretch lab often.
Every week.
I do too.
I know.
Yeah, I hurt myself.
I'm stalking you.
Yeah, man. No, so
You
check
hurt
this
yourself.
out.
I believe
hurt
that.
myself about a year ago.
After seeing that, I believe that.
So I was training for a triathlon last year,
Yeah,
and
you-
I was ready, man. It was Chicago. I was ready, and then I took my dog for a walk, and I freaking lifted that
Small
big,
dog.
No, this is my big girl.
Okay.
That big
What kind of
bitch
dog?
hurt my back, right?
Yeah,
so I
me-
lifted
you
her in
had
my
me a
car.
dog. What kind of dog?
It's a lab, black lab.
Oh, I got. I have 2
Um,
Danes and a pit bull.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love dogs.
I
You
do
just do
too.
me a quick favor. Will you call your dog a bitch one more time for me?
Yeah, I picked that bitch up, threw her in there, right? And my freaking back, like a little pop, right? And I'm like, oh shit. And
That's
I
the
like, so I
best.
stretch real quick, and I'm like, okay. And I wasn't doing stretch lab then, right?
Right.
So like, and I'm training for a try, and when you're training, like I was doing 6 miles like pretty regularly to get ready for the run, and it just fucked me up, man. My back just kept getting worse and worse.
What's your strength of the 3?
My strength is probably to swim now.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been doing it so much. I've been swimming so much.
Were you a
that-
swimmer in high school,
No,
college, or anything?
no. So like, it's my worst one, and I've been working so hard at it. I think it's my easiest one now.
Where do you swim at?
I swim at the Y. We have a new Y in Hammond,
Yeah.
$70 million Y. So I go right down the street and I swim. I did it all year. How about this? I swam all year at the Y, and I was doing the tri-length, which is a mile each time. And then I ran Sunday with Marissa. We did the Shamrock Shuffle. I hadn't run all year, 5 miles, knocked it off.
Hell
I hadn't run one fucking time, man. It was awesome. I'm proud. I'm 56.
Feel
dude.
great
I'm like,
running it.
Freaking
Yeah.
proud of myself, dude. Old
Now,
fucker.
stretching's really helped.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
like,
think
helped
so.
me
I'm-
getting out of bed. I mean, just
I like Ashley's good too, man.
she's the
Do you
best.
stretch in suits? Like, would you wear that?
No.
Yeah, he does it just like that.
I
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
go. I've gone in the suit maybe once or twice.
Have you really?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
It sucks. I mean, they're kind of flexible, but I either change there or I on
change
Friday.
there.
I go Friday afternoon. You go on what,
All right,
Thursday?
I go whenever I can. It's
Oh,
hard.
okay.
But Ashley's hard too because she's busy.
hilarious.
It's like it's hard sometimes to get
Oh,
in
well,
this.
my
year.
schedule's set.
Yeah.
So
oh, really?
I've been going a
Must
year and
be
a half.
nice.
It'll be
Nice.
2
I
years
haven't-
in
No,
June.
Ashley, I've matriculated to Ashley, and she's the best. I like
Yeah,
it.
you figured it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to Ashley at
Thanks,
Stretch
Ashley.
Lab. Brooke,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
a girl
Brooke's
up
the
front.
best too.
That's so
And
funny.
Mike, the owner.
Yeah. All three. That's so funny. Yeah.
So, Mayor, let me ask you something real
Yes, sir.
quick.
Yes,
not
Chris
about
Bryant.
not about stretching. What can we do to kind of get more involved with Hammond? So we're not that
business wise.
Business wise, yeah.
Yeah.
What can we do to help you?
Well, you
during
guys are
projects?
licensed there, which is step
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah.
I would honestly like the guys that work in building. But first off, the guy who works in building, his name's Bob Vale.
Okay.
He came from your guys' world. He was a contractor, just a smart, honest guy, super sweet. Honestly, I'd go out to lunch with him.
Cool.
Honestly,
Okay.
Bob is he's a sweetheart.
Well, you guys got some contractors up there. Again, no beef or anything like that, but
Right.
you guys have some. I think Luth Brothers and is Corellis out of Hammond.
Yeah,
Do you,
yeah, but like that doesn't mean
No. Not
yeah.
that. It's not about like a turf thing or whatever. But like you guys have an area. People in Hammond are going to call local.
Yeah,
right?
but-
and not that we're trying to compete or whatever, but it's like we want Northwest Indiana is a big space.
We have 25,000 houses,
Correct.
25,000 roofs in the city of Hammond.
Yeah.
That's that's
No, agreed.
The more the merrier. The way I see
What
it.
love
events
that.
can we jump on? I think is what more
Kinda,
so.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I'll tell you what,
wanna, like,
guys.
I don't want to go get registered in
I would take a look at the
take
fest this year.
business.
I'm telling
The
you,
fest?
I can't tell you. I blew it out the roof this year. Like I got 3 acts that I'm announcing. You're not gonna freaking believe it.
No, I already believe. I hope one of them's
I'm like,
Creed, but I do
I've
believe
tried
you.
before.
Have you?
It's not, I
Dude,
wish.
that'd be so.
Would you
fucking
tell us?
awesome.
Will you tell us off there?
Yeah.
Can you?
I will
take
definitely tell you off
me
there.
I appreciate that.
I will not tell you on there
That's
because
fair.
that's how you
We
fuck
wanted to
everything
break
up.
out
I can
the
respect
Roof
that.
Trollz.
I will
Hey, but
tell
he
you
gave
as soon
us
as we,
two.
as soon as the show ends. I'll
He
tell you,
did.
right?
I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I'm
from
excited too.
Hammond. I've
One
gone
of
to the
one of the
fest.
guys is like a guy that I love. Like, oh,
I mean,
it's gonna be
Brant.
awesome.
I know we're going back, but like, I think you guys know who Brantley Gilbert's not like
Yeah,
a small
he's big.
country artist.
No.
He's a pretty big country artist.
Yeah,
Like,
we're pretty lucky.
Can we do
again.
booths there, or is it just like a sponsorship, like a banner?
It's
Or can we-
it's banner, but it's also like we have like a pre-party where it's more intimate, and all the city officials are there. So like people from the building department, people from like the building inspector would be there, like the mayor's there, council people are there. That's how you get involved.
Okay.
Right
And
on.
then you don't have to be from Hammond, dude. We have like,
No,
believe
for
me,
sure.
I'm sure Corellis works in Hobart too. By the
We're
way,
gonna see
No,
him
yeah,
with the
100%.
security
Right,
at
so,
the
like-
festival. We're gonna be like, oh, hey, Mayor, you might get those. Fucking
no, you
clowns
guys,
out
if you
here.
guys sponsor, you'd be. I hook you guys up. The festival is a region event.
I want to hear who these bands are. So I mean,
Yeah.
we appreciate your time here
Thank
today.
you, man. It was good to see you.
Is
I
there-
appreciate the invite.
Where can
This-
people follow
I want to
you?
do this again. Well, I host Lockpod, Left of Center podcast. It's on Apple Pod. It's on YouTube, Facebook. So
Yeah.
you can look. And then you can follow me on social media. I'm on TikTok. I'm
Well,
on
we'll
Facebook.
make sure we get all. Honestly, we'll switch contacts and all that because Revens will get you any other videos if you need again
Thanks.
for your own collaboration with it.
I'm going to
Again,
follow you guys as soon as I get done.
Same,
That'd be
man.
awesome.
We
Yeah,
honored,
We'd love to.
honored to have
host
you
your
on the
stuff.
Roof Trolls, man.
Dude, I'll be back.
Awesome.
Love it,
Definitely,
man.
Like
Yeah.
let's keep in
Yeah,
touch.
This is one of the ones where we could have kept talking. Like this
Yeah.
is a.
Yeah,
for sure.
Get on your Signal app with the mayors and tell them we want to interview everybody. In Lake
I
County.
only do top secret stuff on Signal, buddy.
That's
okay?
right.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been seeing people joke that, and I don't even know what Signal is.
It's
funny.
sad though, the whole situation. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So before we go down this road, we're gonna
Let's talk a little politics. Yeah. Let me tell you what happened during the Biden administration. No,
But
just
we
kidding.
we didn't even get to dive into Notre Dame. We didn't really
Go-
get to
I
dive
dove
into Notre Dame.
We didn't
I'll
get
come
to
back for
dive
the
into
season.
your- No, not like, dude.
I'll
He's
come
a,
back for the season.
He's a
fan.
diehard fan. Like I'm a fan.
Law
boy.
school
Like, we need to
graduate from
talk
Notre
about
Dame.
it.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Brady Quinn.
Met his
I'll be
wife
back.
there.
I
love
had Michael
Brady
Floyd
Quinn.
on
I
here.
love Brady-
We had Michael Floyd on our podcast
Get
on
the
Roof
fuck
Trollz.
out of here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How the fuck did you pull that off?
Hey, we'll
we
talk.
knew
You know who's-
one of our other partners had a good relationship
Drake
with one
Bowen.
of their.
I had his dad on my show.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're
Drake
so,
Bowen, I bet you would come on the show.
Well, he won't actually because Drake Bowen has
got
an
NIL money.
He's got an NIL
Son
deal
of a bitch.
with Arnett.
Really?
Arnett and Laporte, the construction company, they worked a deal out with him,
Oh.
so he's on all their billboards.
All
He
right, I'll
does
bring
like
him on left and
autograph
center.
signings and stuff like that. So like that was a good one. I mean, the power move would have been Jeremiah Love, but hey, no big deal. But no, Drake Bones, it's a good one, and it's for them because they operate
Yeah,
over in that
for
side,
sure.
like South Bend.
Yeah.
So yeah, but for us in Northwest Indiana, I don't know. We've tried a few of the bigger people here, but it's tough, man. Like I said, Roof Trolls. Everybody thinks it's a
Dude, I'll
roofing
do it for you.
podcast.
I'll do
So,
it.
but
You
yeah,
can get me.
but Michael
I'll be
Floyd, we knew somebody who was friends with him personally, so he's in real
That's
estate now in
awesome.
Minnesota, and he wanted to come on Roof Trolls to
He was an
promote
amazing
himself.
wide receiver.
Dude, he was so
Yeah.
awesome.
Did he play in the NFL? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
he
remember.
did.
Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl with the
That's
Patriots.
Right. That's
yeah.
right. That's right. He was
and
amazing.
he was just a
drafted by the
humble,
Cardinals.
Yeah.
humble, cool dude.
Yeah, drafted by the Cardinals. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys, man. It was great.
Yeah.
No, thank
Great
you.
having.
You guys have an
on the
awesome show.
Yep.
Well,
Seriously,
so you'll be
I'm
back.
proud of you. Dude, I'm proud of you guys as business people. Awesome. I love podcasts, so it's awesome to be on a podcast with you all.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Chris Bryant. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like it's an
Yeah,
amazing
well,
day.
God,
I'll be honest, man. Mayor, if you ever want Chris Bryan on your podcast,
Let's
I'd
go.
love to come out and keep shooting the shit with you, man.
Angelo's head was already like this before this fucking podcast. Now we're like,
It is because we were already like clicking in the back when I was like, "Hey,
That's
we're going
right.
to do this," and we were
Jesus.
just immediately
Then we
like,
realized we're on the same team politically,
Yeah.
too.
We'll talk-
so-
oh
friends.
God, yeah.
We'll talk about chess next time.
Yeah, man, for
We'll
sure.
talk about chess.
Whose
He
chessboard
walked
is
in
that?
and saw the chessboard. So
Whose chessboard
That's
is that?
Kevin.
That's Kevin's
Yeah, man.
actually, and Kevin he's
I'm a
he's
chess
desperate
head.
for friends, and two,
I'm a chess head.
Kevin would love to play chess
I'm a
with
chess
anybody.
head. I'm a speed chess guy. I play
that's
5-minute
awesome.
games, yeah.
Kevin. Again, from what I can see with Kevin, he's pretty good.
No, he probably is.
He was-
We got
he
a chess
bragged
Well,
head.
he
about-
beat everybody in
He was,
here.
he was
yeah.
captain of
What?
his high school chess team.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean,
I'm
I guess,
sure he's going to get me. I would have no problem losing to him, though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind losing.
What I'm impressed by is the
I've run,
fact
you
he-
see some of the offices I run for, I have no problem losing,
some of the
buddy.
kids that know how to play chess in here, because I'm always impressed. Anybody who's under 30 years old, if they know how to play chess, that's fucking awesome. Because I don't know if you guys, that's dying.
Come on.
I swear to God,
That's
it's
one of the
dying.
oldest
People
games in
do
the
not
world.
Everybody
know
needs
they
to learn to
don't.
play chess.
Go on,
They
chess.com.
should. They
Thank you,
should.
Dad, for teaching me chess.
Chess.com.
It's because they're playing. I was gonna say they're playing online.
Yeah, dude.
That's why.
I play, honestly, I average probably 5 games a day.
Jeff's always
every
bragging,
day of my
"Thanks,
life.
Dad, for
Yeah.
teaching me." Oh, God.
Hey,
I haven't
love it.
played
You
one
weren't
today.
Must
more,
be
Jeff.
nice to have
You had
parents
two-
that are
yeah.
alive still. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with a family that loved me. This guy,
shit.
before we cut this
My
off,
family
this fucking guy was
loves
like,
me.
listen, guys, I understand we all grew up, modest. I'm like, Jeff, you had a fucking house. Like, what? Like, I never lived in a house.
I grew up with a single mom, so.
Yeah.
There were years
That's
that
what
my
I mean.
dad didn't make $100,000.
Yeah.
we know, Jeff. We know.
I'm like, Jeff,
Working
how about I interview
712s. My dad's an electrician.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong. Humble brag about Jeff. Yeah, he's a fucking attorney.
Uh-huh.
And don't get me wrong. So he's an attorney. His brother got his construction management degree from Purdue, correct?
Nice.
His fucking sister's a politician in Minnesota.
Yeah, man.
And then your
told you
other
about
his,
sister,
his wife is a nurse.
Is
with,
a nurse
like,
practitioner.
Going on what, her 3rd degree or
But no,
something.
This
and then his
podcast
other
is not
sister-
about me.
the other sister is a fucking doctor too, right? She's a doctor.
Who's a doctor?
You have 2 sisters.
Oh, my other sister's
They
a
all- they
transfer
might as well all-
coordinator.
A lot of pressure in that
But hey,
family.
guys,
She's
we're
a
the
nurse.
same.
Jackie.
We're the
Yeah.
same.
Nurse Jackie.
You guys are doing great. I want to say
All right,
congrats.
Tom.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
We
man.
Pleasure.
appreciate it, brother.
Roof
And,
Trollz.
thank you for being on.
Thanks, guys.
Roof
Appreciate it.
Trollz, and
Love you guys.
I'll see you guys on the next one.
Awesome.
Peace.